Hey again besties, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to shed a spotlight on 8 lesser known expansion mods that deserve their flowers. I've already gone over the heavy hitters an umpteen amount of times on this channel, but now I want to talk about some hidden gems you may or may not have heard of before. I've been quietly enjoying these expansions across several of my saves, and I hope that someone watching finds joy in some of these as well. But before we dive in, if you're new to the channel or you've been enjoying some of my other videos, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Your support truly means the world to me and helps me keep digging up these hidden treasures for you all. Now without further ado, let's dive into the mods. Let's kick off this showcase with a mod that I've been previously anticipating for a long time back when 1.6 first rolled out. The Adventurers Guild expanded, originally by Live on Support and converted to 1.6 by Lilybrook. It was a beloved classic that added a massive story expansion to the Adventurers Guild. This is a full story expansion complete with new quests, new locations, over 30 story events, new romanceable NPCs, and the ability to befriend and recruit a friendly monster to live on your farm. The thing I love most about this expansion is its replayability. The Adventurers Guild Expanded has branching quest lines that determine how the storyline will go in your game. I remember actually having a hard time choosing which path I wanted to take during my first go-round, so I ended up adding this mod to one of my other saves just to see how the other path played out. Not to mention, Lilybrook has been actively updating and fixing the mod since their version's release. One of the biggest and best changes was removing the original version's outdated dependencies, so it now runs fully on Content Patcher, making it much more stable now. They've added a new configuration for the monster basement, and they even integrated custom music directly, which is also toggleable. For us players who love this mod, it's a huge relief to see that the author is still maintaining it and still making fixes to it, because this expansion is one of those mods that truly deserves to be experienced in its best possible form. This next segment is dedicated to a mod that I've been enjoying, again in my main save, since a few months ago. I'm talking about the wonderfully charming Cindersnap Circle mod by K80Baby. The Cindersnap Circle is a full-fledged, cozy settlement tucked away just north of Marnie's farm. It's an expansion I originally had on an older save from a few years ago, and was so thrilled to recently add it back to my main save a few months ago. This mod introduces a full cast of unique and charming NPCs, each with their own distinct personalities and backstories. There's Milo, a laid-back but hot-tempered R&B musician and fashion connoisseur who moved from the big city to escape the bugs and the noise. Then there's his older brother, Bryson, a mischievous and friendly aspiring fashion designer who uses humor to hide his past in Zuzu City. Dimitri, an undead magic user who is learning to navigate his new existence with a sense of adventure and a lot of humor, despite the fact that he can't eat solid food and requires expensive sunscreen to feel the sun. Then there's Faye, a gorgeous and down-to-earth fairy who runs the Fairy Cafe with her father Finn. And last but not least, we have Sky, an aspiring biochemical engineer and the owner of a remedy shop. What I really appreciate about this mod is how much care went into making it work for different setups. The mod page includes different versions for compatibility, ensuring that it plays nicely with other map editing mods. There's even an optional file to patch out the bus path for those of us using Stardew Valley Expanded. I love how unique and charming these NPCs look, and I really enjoy interacting with them in my valley and watching their heart events unfold. If you're looking for a small but wonderfully detailed new neighborhood with characters that feel right at home in Pelican Town, then this is the mod for you. This next mod is a fantastic example of world building that feels grounded and necessary. When I first added Defense Division, custom NPCs by Kiyuga Mods to my main save, it didn't have the rich config options that it does now. Back then, it was a more straightforward addition, but I was so taken by the concept that I knew I had to experience it again. So I've actually added it to another save file so I can savor the storyline for a bit longer this time around. So what is this defense division? In Stardew Valley, we have the Adventurers Guild, which is great for delving into caves and slaying monsters. But as this mod asks, in a town without a police department, who protects the townsfolk? That's where the defense division comes in. It's a branch of the guild focused not on epic quests, but on the often overlooked job of guarding villagers and their homes for the small, everyday threats. The mod introduces 3 new fully fleshed out NPCs who bring this concept to life. There's Edward, a 52-year-old veteran and Obsidian rank defender who serves as the group's instructor. With an optimistic, joke-cracking personality, he seems to make friends really easily. His niece, Isis, is a 17-year-old bronze rank student, a bundle of energy who is fun but famously short-tempered. Then there's Miranda, also 17 and a bronze rank, who is calm, kind, and patient. She loves to study and take on new challenges. Rounding out the new additions is a lovable little puppy who adds a touch of everyday warmth. The mod even adds 1 new location for these characters to call their home base. The defense division comes with some config options that can be modified in the generic mod config menu that allow you to adjust certain things like the length of their stay and when their departure takes place. I should also note that you should make these adjustments prior to starting your save as suggested by Kiyuga mods. The mod is incredibly well written, and these NPCs really bring something extra to the valley that no other mod quite captures. If you love immersive storytelling and characters that feel like they've always been there, this is one to watch. Not every great expansion needs a dozen new NPCs and a sprawling questline. Sometimes the most brilliant foundation is a simple, beautifully designed space that opens the door for infinite creativity. That's the exact philosophy behind the Downhill project, also by Kiyuga mods. And it's a masterpiece that definitely deserves its flowers for just how much work and detail was put into it. In a way, this mod is a gift of sorts to the modding community. A spacious, thoughtfully crafted new neighborhood that's specifically designed for other modders to populate with their own characters. Nestled just between the backwoods and the mountain, Downhill is an old, forgotten neighborhood. Once busy with mining, it's now home to just 3 residents. A priest, a miner, and an elderly woman. The old church of Downhill, which is currently in ruins, reflects a priest's hope of one day bringing it back to life. The Downhill project was constructed to follow the logic of the base map, with multiple exits and easy navigation, making it an ideal spot for custom NPCs to have natural routines. And the best part? This expansion has been compatible with pretty much all of my other major mods, including Ridgeside Village and Stardew Valley Expanded. I've never had a single issue running it alongside my heavily modded main save. There doesn't seem to be any add-ons for this mod yet, but it's definitely something that I hope for in the future. So if you happen to have an NPC or 2 you want to add to the valley, you might want to consider making Downhill their new home. I've been waiting for the perfect opportunity to cover Lilybrook by 8-Bit Alien, and this video felt exactly the right moment. This mod is one of those sleeper hits that gets so much right. You hop on the bus from the bus stop, take a short ride, and you find yourself in Lilybrook. A charming and completely new village just bustling with life. The sheer amount of content here is staggering, and it includes 17 new NPCs, each with their own hard events, detailed dialogue, and carefully designed sprites that fit right in with the game's vanilla style. There are 4 romanceable characters if you're looking for a new soulmate, plus plenty of new fish to catch, new crops, and tree saplings to grow, including some for winter, and brand new locations to unlock as you progress. I spent countless hours foraging for new minerals and artifacts, completing new special orders, and collecting some of the new furniture pieces. It's a genuine adventure of discovery that feels incredibly true to the spirit of the base game. Now, if I'm being completely honest, this mod does have one small quirk that I feel I should mention now. None of the NPCs ever seem to leave Lilybrook to wander around the rest of the valley. And as of the current version, there are no festival integrations where you'd run into them in Pelican Town. It makes the new village feel a little isolated from the rest of the world at times, sort of like a little pocket dimension. I'm really hoping that future updates might sprinkle these characters into some of the town's major events, because they're so well written that they'd be a joy to see at the flower dance or something. But other than that minor observation, this expansion is otherwise jam-packed with so much polish and personality that it's easy to look past how self-contained it feels. If you're looking for a massive injection of new content without straying from that classic cozy Stardew vibe, Lilybrook is absolutely worth the bus fare. This next mod is one that I first stumbled upon a couple of years ago, and to this day, I still think this might be one of the most adorable expansions I've ever played with. I'm of course talking about Axolotl Village by Otohime XOXO. It is just too cute. I recently put it back into my kawaii anime themed save file, and it fits right in perfectly. True to its name, Axolotl Village adds a bunch of giant axolotls for you to meet and befriend. It includes 11 brand new NPCs, 9 new types of fish, over 50 new hard events, and 25 new foods and recipes. The story in the mod directly follows the events of the standalone mod, Kin the Axolotl, so if you've played with that one already, you'll feel right at home with this installed. But even if you haven't, it's still a fantastic experience. But it will have some spoilers for that mod though. It also comes with 2 in-town festivals for Spirits Eve and Winter Star. The Spirits Eve event happens on Fall 28, and the Feast of the Winter Star event takes place on Winter 25, giving you more reasons to visit the village more often. There are a couple of ways to get to the Axolotl Village in this mod. You can learn a new crafting recipe for a warp totem, or you can speak to the wizard, who will unlock a special warp on the left pier at the beach. This mod is clearly a labor of love, and you can tell by the author's dedication and the love they've poured into it throughout the years. If you're looking for a totally adorable, wholesome, and beautifully made new location to discover, then you need to pay the axolotls a visit. Since we're on the subject of cuteness still, I have to talk about another interesting expansion from the same brilliant creator, Otohime XOXO. This one is called Cottoncloud Town, and it was released during Stardew Valley's Mod Fest earlier this year. If you thought Axolotl Village was adorable, just wait until you see this. It's a sweet new mod that brings the beloved Sanrio character Cinnamoroll and his friends to the valley. It adds a magical new town located up in the clouds, complete with fluffy, ethereal aesthetics that look absolutely stunning. It adds a whole new community to discover and currently features 7 new NPCs, including Cinnamoroll himself, cappuccino, mocha, and espresso, among others. It also includes 8 new fish to catch, 40 new furniture items to decorate your home with, and 46 new mouth-watering foods and recipes to cook up. To get there, you'll need the Central Station mod to take the train ride. Now, I've got to be upfront with you guys about this one. This mod is still very much a work in progress. When I tell you that right now, Cottoncloud Town feels a little bit like a ghost town, it's honestly not even an exaggeration. Most of the NPCs seem to stay inside of their homes throughout most of the day, and you can only enter them if you've reached high enough friendship levels. I only ran into one of these adorable creatures after about 10 minutes of running around. The creator has a lot of future plans in the works though, and it's pretty obvious that the mod is still in its early stages. There isn't a massive overarching quest line yet, and the content is primarily focused on the charming atmosphere and the joy of collecting all the new items. But just like they did with Axolotl Village, they have big dreams for Cottoncloud Town too. And the roadmap they've shared is incredibly exciting. They want to add heart events for all NPCs, move in more of Cinnamoroll's friends like Cocoa and Nuts, include some surprise NPC visits, and add more buildings and shops. For anyone that wants an element of fantasy, adorable aesthetics, and a genuinely sweet community, This just might be the perfect addition for your new or existing save. Okay, hear me out, besties. I don't usually feature spicy mods on this channel, but I'm about to make an exception with our very last segment. This spicy mod in question is none other than the 7 Deadly Sins mod by Rice Hit. Now, I won't even provide a direct link to this one because unless you have this type of content enabled in your search settings, it might not even show up for you. This is not a mod for the faint of heart. It's a massive, dark-themed story expansion that the creator's own description warns contains certain mature themes that I won't bother mentioning here. You'll have to check out the mod page to see them. It's definitely not for everyone. That aside, the mod includes 28 fully fleshed out characters, over 130 plus events, 500,000 words of dialogue, dozens upon dozens of new maps with detailed locations, hundreds of new items, and so much more. This mod is extremely generous when it comes to content. It's comparable to the Downtown Zuzu mod when it comes to content, and is one of the most ambitious expansions I've personally played with thus far. But I added this mod to my anime-inspired save, and so far, I haven't seen anything too edgy or mature yet. The most risque thing I've encountered is a girl who seemed to imply that she offers other services, if you get my drift. Honestly, the only thing I've really observed so far is that there are a lot of really beautiful looking men and women in this expansion. I mean, seriously, the character designs are out of this world. And almost all of them seem to treat me pretty badly. Like really badly. So if you're into that kind of thing, then you might want to try this one out. The original mod is in Mandarin though, so if you're a native English speaker, you will want to download the English translation mod by the creator Axolotl. 7 Deadly Sins takes that enemies to lovers trope to a whole new level. And honestly, that chaotic energy is kind of perfect for the right kind of save file. Just know what you're signing up for first. It's a massive mod with a lot of content and a very specific mature flavor. Approach with caution, but if you're intrigued by the drama, it's certainly one of the most unique expansions that I've tried so far. And that's a wrap on 8 Stardew Valley expansion mods that absolutely deserve your attention. From the Adventurers Guild expansion to some seriously content-packed town mods. I hope you found something new and exciting to try out from this week's lineup. These finds have brought me so much joy, and a little bit of chaos in my own saves, and I'm thrilled to finally be able to share them with you all. If you enjoy discovering these underrated gems with me, please do me a huge favor and be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss another Stardew mod showcase. Your support means the world to me and helps to keep these videos coming. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these mods are you most excited to try out? I read every single one of your comments and can't wait to talk mods with you all down below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay cozy and keep those mods updated, my friends. And as always, happy farming!